Far out in space, a blazing star erupts with flames, its surface unstable and violent. Nearby, a meteor drifts across the dark void, highlighting the scale of destruction. Inside the spacecraft, he stands tall and composed, quietly studying the burning star through the observation window. His posture is calm, but his eyes reveal deep calculation. He analyzes the situation, noting that the nearest planet with life is 15 light-years away. As long as the star doesn't collapse or explode suddenly, its destruction will not bring serious harm to the surrounding planets. He clenches his fist as flames rise around his hand. Acknowledging his own limits, he admits that with his current strength, he cannot cause a star in its prime to explode, no matter how much power he tries to summon. He studies the blazing star, explaining that its surface temperature reaches 6,000 degrees Celsius, hot enough to vaporize steel at 3,000 and ionize atoms at 6,000. Staring directly at the inferno, he wonders if his current strength is enough to withstand such extreme heat. He shakes his head, admitting that it doesn't matter. The only way to know is by trying, but first, he must push his strength to an even higher level. Suddenly, a holographic call signal flashes with a beeping sound, showing the name Lu Sheng on the display. A woman answers the call respectfully, addressing him as Lord Lu and asking how she may serve him. He responds calmly, instructing her to take down the coordinates and arrange for a delivery of energy crystal resources within 10 days. She nods with a faint smile, mentioning that the commander wanted her to ask if the issues on his home planet had been resolved. He reassures her with confidence, saying the problem has been perfectly resolved and thanks her for the assistance. The woman informs him that invitations for the Interstellar Martial Arts Talent Exchange Competition have already been sent to 12 surrounding star regions. The event will be hosted in the sub-Jupiter region and begin in 4 months. He replies calmly, telling her to inform him in advance when the time comes, before ending the call. After putting away the device, he steps out with a focused expression, leaving the communication behind. Inside the spaceship's training room, towering energy crystals shine brightly, filling the vast chamber as he prepares for his next steps. Holding an energy crystal in his hand, he decides to rely on the supplies around him to endure for now. With determination, he commands the system to initiate a simulation set to 50,000 times gravity. The system immediately confirms, announcing that 50,000 times gravity has been activated. His eyes sharpen as he braces himself. The crushing force slams down on him, forcing him to one knee as the intense pressure shakes the training room floor. Under the immense pressure, he collapses forward, blood dripping from his mouth as his body strains to endure. Pinned against the ground, he mutters about the overwhelming sensation pressing on him. He describes the feeling as if the weight of an entire planet were crushing him, his surroundings trembling under the gravity. Despite the agony, he forces himself up, fists clenched and body trembling, refusing to yield to the crushing force. He roars defiantly, forcing his battered body to stand tall against the crushing force, blood streaking down his face. His veins bulge and his arm trembles violently as his body struggles to contain the immense pressure. Through clenched teeth, he admits he has no time to grow gradually. In extraordinary times, only extraordinary measures can push him forward. With unwavering determination, he screams his resolve to become stronger, no matter the cost. Energy surges violently through the training chamber as he stands firm, engulfed in blinding streams of power. The surrounding crystals ignite with radiant light, glowing as they release an overwhelming energy. Clenching his fists, he roars with determination, declaring that he will become stronger no matter what stands in his way. For the first time in his life, he devotes himself fully to cultivation, pushing forward without hesitation or reservation. As he trained relentlessly, an invitation to the Interstellar Martial Arts Conference was dispatched from the sub-Jupiter region, crossing star clusters at superluminal speed. These invitations were delivered to the most powerful figures across every star zone. In the distant Manhwa star region, the message finally reached its destination. A formidable figure surrounded by swirling energy received the letter, his presence radiating authority as he read the invitation. In the Manhwa star region, a powerful elder scoffs at the news of an immortal-level genius emerging in the sub-Jupiter region, questioning the eagerness to show him off. Furious, he declares that he will not follow such plans and commands that none of the geniuses or strong men from his region are allowed to attend. Before him, countless cultivators kneel in unison, shouting their obedience to his order. Meanwhile, the invitation continues its journey across the cosmos, reaching the distant branded region. In a grand hall, a woman in armor approaches her father, holding an envelope. She asks if he has seen the invitation to the Interstellar martial arts tournament from the Jupiter region. The elder, robed like a high priest, responds calmly that he already knows about it. Kneeling before him, she earnestly requests permission to attend the tournament, her tone filled with determination. The archbishop regards her seriously, reminding her that the rumored genius is at the immortal level, possessing an extraordinary life form. The armored woman declares her determination, saying this rare chance to compete with an immortal bloodline could help her break the limits of the Holy Mark seal and step closer to the great Lord God. Her father raises his hand in blessing, telling her to go. He assures her that immortality is not an unbreakable myth, and the great Holy Seal will guide her to glory. With fiery resolve, she promises not to let him down, her eyes glowing with determination beneath her helmet. Meanwhile, in the hill region, a three-eyed man holding the invitation mutters in shock about the appearance of an immortal-level genius. In the hill region, a dean smokes calmly as he reflects on the sub-Jupiter region's fortune in discovering such a bloodline, though he criticizes them for hosting a competition despite the genius only being 9th level in strength. A young man enters respectfully, asking the dean for his instructions. The dean smiles and tells him that his plan to go to the alien battlefield must be postponed, as there is now a competition worth his attention. Privately, the dean notes that Hull already possesses a mid-12th grade sun-level bloodline, and his cultivation technique allows him to conceal his true power. The dean smirks to himself, noting that the invitation only specified level 11. Conveniently, Hull can suppress his power to that level, which could lead to an accident where he might kill the immortal-level genius from the sub-Jupiter region. Meanwhile, inside the spacecraft's gravity training room, flames surround him as he continues his intense cultivation. He opens his eyes slowly, his gaze calm yet sharp after days of enduring the crushing training. In a humorous moment, he realizes he feels shorter than before, noting that the constant gravity pressure over the past 10 days may have compressed his body. He reflects on his progress, noting that his strength has become incredibly solid, dozens of times stronger than before. With over 30,000 immortal cells, he is close to outlining the star map of the Sun God realm. Suddenly, a surge of power erupts from his hand, forming into a sharp, glowing force. The ground trembles as nearby energy crystals begin to shatter under the intensity of his outburst. The training room fills with fragments of glowing crystals, scattering wildly as the pressure of his power explodes outward. With determination burning in his eyes, he rises into the blazing void, facing the massive star before him. Hovering in the fiery glow, he declares that it is finally time for this star, his body radiating resolve and power. The overwhelming heat and brilliance of the star surge around him, testing the limits of his endurance. Undeterred, he pushes forward, ready to face the ultimate trial against the very heart of the star itself. Lu Sheng secures the White Hole shuttle spacecraft in position and activates its defense system before stepping out to face the star. In an instant, he traverses tens of thousands of kilometers, arriving directly before the blazing star. He stands tall in the void, lightning-like energy surging around his body as he prepares himself for the trial ahead. Recalling his past progress, he notes that when he reached level 8, the flames he controlled from the third layer of the void bright state had already surpassed 1,000 degrees. He hovers before the massive star, the blazing heat radiating against him as he braces himself for the challenge. With a confident smile, he notes that the star's surface temperature exceeds 6,000 degrees, but such heat no longer poses a threat to him. Clenching his fists, he surges forward with determination, declaring the start of his trial. In a flash of power, his figure shoots directly toward the blazing star, piercing through the fiery atmosphere at incredible speed. He dives straight into the blazing surface of the star, moving at an incredible speed as flames engulf his body. With a determined smile, he exclaims that the sensation is unlike anything he has ever felt before, fueling his resolve. Charging deeper into the fiery core, his clothes burn away, yet his willpower only grows stronger as he confronts the overwhelming heat. Even as his skin begins to scorch, he endures with a steady grin, pushing himself further into the inferno without hesitation. He realizes that the core of the star burns with billions of degrees, a perfect environment that can push his cultivation to new heights. With a fierce roar, his body ignites in flames, veins bulging as he channels the overwhelming energy around him. A radiant mark glows brightly across his back, resonating with the star's blazing power as his aura grows stronger. Smiling with exhilaration, he declares that this place is true paradise for cultivation, something he should have sought out long ago. He understands that to reach the pinnacle, he must dive even deeper into the blazing core of the star, embracing the overwhelming flames. With determination burning in his eyes, he declares that soon he'll break through to the 9th level, complete his martial arts form, and prepare to challenge the 10th. Surrounded by fiery currents, he pushes his body forward with all his strength, racing toward the star's heart with unyielding resolve. The searing light engulfs him completely as the star erupts with tremendous power, signaling the start of his most dangerous trial yet. Time passes quickly, and nearly 3 months after the invitation, the Interstellar Martial Arts Talent Exchange competition is about to begin. The news spreads like wildfire, shaking the 12-star regions as excitement builds. People cheer, realizing an event of this scale hasn't happened in centuries. Spaceships begin launching in unison, with countless participants and spectators heading toward the sub-Jupiter region. Among them, massive merchant ships from distant star systems travel through the cosmos, carrying warriors eager to join the grand competition now in full swing. Inside a grand hall, countless figures gather, their presence marking the start of an event that has drawn attention across the galaxy. The peace of the 12-star regions is shattered as martial arts masters, geniuses, and powerful leaders arrive, all heading toward the sub-Jupiter region. Among them, one man remains silent, lost in his own thoughts, his presence radiating quiet strength. Others notice his distant expression and whisper in curiosity, wondering what Mr. Leo is truly thinking about. A woman in a striking red dress holds her glass of wine elegantly, her presence drawing attention under the dim lights of the hall. Mr. Leo greets her politely, calling her Miss Trinis, and remarks that he's simply passing time while admiring the starry sky. She corrects him with a gentle smile, telling him to just call her Trinis. Trinis adds that while the starry sky is beautiful, staring at it too long eventually feels dull and monotonous, her words carrying a hidden weight. Trinis reflects on her situation, recalling how Leo's spaceship was damaged. Since his destination matched hers, she invited him aboard her merchant ship, realizing the vessel lacked proper military strength. Leo stands tall with a composed expression, his presence carrying an air of authority. He looks out thoughtfully, but Trinis suddenly reaches out, stopping him with a gesture filled with intent. She explains that the competition has stirred chaos across sectors, with star pirates running rampant and law enforcement struggling to keep up. Having him by her side, she admits, makes her feel much safer. Leo reflects silently, wondering if this peace he feels now is something he had long forgotten, as it feels like an eternity since he last experienced it. With a faint smile, he turns to Trinis and asks if she knows how many colors exist within the alien battlefield. Surprised by his question, Trinis looks at him curiously and asks if he has ever been to the alien battlefield himself. Leo calmly explains that in the alien battlefield, there are only 3 colors one can truly see. Leo describes the alien battlefield, recalling the endless gray skies and the terrifying black beasts that filled them. His expression hardens as he pauses, carrying the weight of memories that are difficult to voice. He finally continues, speaking of the red color, the blood that once stained the earth during countless battles. Hearing his words, Trinis is left stunned, realizing the depth of pain and experience hidden within him. Leo snaps out of his heavy thoughts, muttering quietly as he regains his composure. He apologizes with a faint smile, explaining that he recalled unpleasant memories and may have startled Trinis. Trinis gently corrects him, reminding Leo to just call her by her name instead of Captain, since titles feel too formal between them. Changing the subject, Leo asks Trinis about the strongest contenders in the upcoming competition, prompting her to agree and prepare to share the details. Trinis introduces Gray from the Blue Demon family of the Black Flounder Star region, a 700-year-old cultivator who has reached the peak of level 11. Next is Monroe, the Ice Demon from the Hill Star region, a powerful life form of 3 sun stars who is close to reaching level 12. Shocked, Trinis points out that Monroe is not even 400 years old, making his potential limitless. Leo listens intently beside her. Finally, she reveals the most notable contender of all, Lu Sheng, the owner of the immortal bloodline that appears only once every million years in the Jupiter region. Trinis admits she once thought the immortal bloodline was only a legend and never expected it to truly exist. She explains that even in the alien battlefield, the immortal level is considered rare and dazzling. Leo listens carefully. However, she points out that Lu Sheng is only at level 9, making his chances of winning seem slim. Many predicted his odds were below 20%, while Monroe, the Ice Demon, was considered the strongest favorite. Despite the doubts, Lu Sheng's confident smile hints that he has no intention of being overshadowed by anyone. Trinis asks Leo if he plans to participate in the competition, confident that with his strength he could easily rank in the top 10. Leo closes his eyes, giving a faint smile as if the thought doesn't interest him. He shakes his head and calmly replies that he won't be participating this time. With a sly grin, Leo hints that he has far more important matters to deal with than the competition. She lightly comments that Mr. Leo must have more important things to do and decides not to press further, showing a calm smile as he stands beside her. After a brief pause, she curiously asks Leo if he can explain what the alien space battlefield is really like. Her tone carries both interest and anticipation. Leo repeats her words thoughtfully, his gaze shifting toward the vast space outside the window. The sight of distant stars and cosmic light makes the question feel even heavier. He finally answers, describing it as the cradle of the strong, the arena for geniuses, and at the same time, a merciless grinder where the weak are crushed without mercy. The imagery of a fiery, hostile world highlights his words. The battlefield is described as a place where countless talents rise while many others fall. Blood and fire consume everything, leaving no room to breathe, only despair and death. Hearing his words, she finds herself captivated by his presence, struggling to hold back her emotions as she admires him closely. She encourages him to let go of the past, praising his survival from the alien battlefield as proof of his extraordinary strength. She adds that if he joined the Interstellar talent competition, he would easily secure a strong position. Leo calmly responds, admitting he has long grown weary of endless battles. Fame and fortune no longer matter to him, he only wishes for a place where he can live a quiet and normal life. She suggests that Leo join her caravan and even take the position of guard leader, assuring him that he could decide his own treatment. With a soft smile, she promises that he would not be disappointed, while Leo hesitates, unsure of how to respond. Suddenly, the scene is disrupted as a sharp noise echoes and tension fills the air. In the next moment, she is thrown to the ground with a cry, while Leo stands nearby, his presence steady amid the chaos. A report suddenly comes in, warning that their spaceship is under attack by unidentified forces, most likely space pirates. Shocked by the news, she panics, unsure of what to do in such a dangerous situation. Leo steps forward calmly and tells her to take him to the guard team immediately, his demeanor steady and decisive. Relieved by his confidence, she eagerly agrees, her expression lighting up with admiration and hope. Pirate spaceships draw closer, their fleet advancing menacingly through the void. Inside the ship, the defense team hull activates as tension rises, preparing for battle. When Leo arrives, the guards immediately cheer, calling out his name with relief, certain that his presence means their survival. Leo steps forward with calm authority, telling everyone to stay composed, insisting that the situation is not a big deal. Walking beside Leo, she feels more at ease with his presence, comforted by his calm demeanor. Leo asks if all the guards are assembled. She assures him that the Emerald Merchant Group's forces are ready and just awaiting his order to fight the pirates. Leo's expression sharpens, and he acknowledges their readiness with satisfaction, saying it is very good. But then, his tone darkens as he repeats those words. He suddenly pulls her close, leaving her startled and confused by his unexpected action. Leo's eyes narrow sharply, a dangerous aura flashing as he prepares to unleash his power. With a swift motion, his blade is drawn, unleashing Xingyun's sword technique in a devastating spin slash. The sudden strike cuts through the enemy ranks with overwhelming force, leaving the soldiers stunned and unable to react. One of the guards stares in disbelief, his expression frozen as he struggles to comprehend what just happened. The guards cry out in pain as Leo's blade cuts them down mercilessly, leaving no chance for resistance. She watches in shock, her eyes wide with disbelief, unable to process what just unfolded before her. As Leo grips her tightly, she stammers in confusion, questioning why he is doing this. With a chilling smile, Leo whispers that she has always been his prey, revealing his true intentions. Standing among fallen guards, Leo coldly remarks that the alien battlefield is filled with many colors, the blood of countless races, before mocking whether her blood would be beautiful too. He then reveals there is something she never knew. It's not that he refused to participate in the Interstellar Genius Conference, but rather that he couldn't participate at all. With a twisted smile, he confesses the reason he is a deserter from the alien battlefield. Her face pales in shock as he further explains that his identity was stripped away, leaving him no longer even a citizen of the starry sky. The thugs celebrate their easy victory, laughing that their boss's clever trick earned trust before betraying it, making the ambush effortless. They chant Leo's name with excitement, surrounding him and the captive woman, showing their loyalty to their leader. One of the men identifies him as Star Dove Leo, a notorious SS rank fugitive wanted across more than 8-star regions. Leo smirks, tightening his grip on her, and mockingly addresses her by name, calling it delightful to meet again. She warns Leo that his arrogance won't last long, revealing that their group has been under surveillance by the Interstellar Law Enforcement Network, and the police would already be on their way. Leo only smiles in response, mocking her words while thanking her for the reminder, and declares that it's time to evacuate. He raises his voice, ordering his men to prepare for evacuation within 1 minute. The subordinates obey instantly, responding with enthusiasm. Tightening his grip on her, Leo smirks and taunts her again, saying she unknowingly helped him once more, while she cries out in pain. Leo smirks cruelly, saying he despises wasting food. hinting that he intends to savor every part of her as if she were a meal. He then declares his decision to have all his men take turns with her that very night, mocking her helplessness. Furious and humiliated, she yells at him in rage, calling him a bastard and demanding how he dares. Leo only laughs darkly, twisting her words into mockery, while his men grin at her despair, amused by his cruelty. The thugs laugh arrogantly, boasting that under their boss's command, they dare to do anything without fear. But suddenly, some of them pause and look upward in confusion, pointing out something unusual in the sky. A brilliant fiery shape emerges above them, radiating with overwhelming energy and divine presence. The blinding light bursts forth, making them question in shock if it is a star appearing so close by. From within the blazing inferno, a radiant figure begins to emerge, stepping out of the searing flames. A young man with a calm yet powerful presence appears, his body engulfed in fire that radiates overwhelming strength. The flames surge brighter and fiercer around him, the light exploding outward with unstoppable force. Leo grips her tightly, his expression twisting in shock as he shouts in disbelief at the sudden change before him. A massive explosion of light erupts, shaking the surroundings and leaving everyone stunned. Panicked, Leo demands answers, his voice breaking as he struggles to recognize what he is witnessing. From within the flames, a radiant figure emerges, an overwhelming presence that leaves even Leo speechless. Leo roars furiously, ordering his men to attack the blazing star ahead with everything they have. The fleet of spaceships surges forward, weapons locked and charging, ready to unleash their firepower. On command, countless beams are fired at once, streaking through the void toward the fiery presence. But within the flames, a powerful figure glares back, his burning eyes unshaken by the storm of attacks. The fiery star bursts with immense power, releasing waves of energy that ripple outward. The shockwave tears through the sky, shattering the attacking spacecraft into pieces instantly. Crew members scream in panic as debris rains down, their formation breaking apart in chaos. Leo, furious and alarmed, shouts into his communicator, ordering his forces to disperse immediately. Leo listens to his communicator, but only hears the dying words of his men before the signal cuts off, leaving him trembling. Shaken, he drops to his knees in disbelief, unable to comprehend how things have turned against him so quickly. With wide eyes, he stares into the blazing light, shouting in shock as he realizes the truth of what is appearing before him. From within the inferno, a radiant figure slowly descends, its presence overwhelming and impossible to ignore. From the flames, a figure emerges with a powerful physique, his entire body wrapped in blazing fire. He raises his arm, shielding his eyes as the burning light grows even more intense around him. In an instant, his form stabilizes, now fully clothed and standing tall within the inferno, radiating overwhelming power. His gaze lowers, calm yet filled with determination, as the firestorm slowly settles behind him. The crowd stares in silence as the young man descends, his fiery presence dominating the entire hall. Leo, shaken and wide-eyed, demands to know who this mysterious figure is. Sensing his aura, Leo is stunned to realize it only measures at level 10, yet feels overwhelmingly dangerous. The young man stands firm, summoning a powerful dragon spirit as he declares that he will not be underestimated. Leo roars in fury, unleashing a powerful strike filled with crackling energy, determined to crush his opponent. But the young man calmly raises his hand, summoning blazing flames as he declares one of the 10 perfect martial arts, the Golden Crow. A fiery surge bursts forth from his palm, colliding against the incoming attack with overwhelming force. Leo screams in pain as the flames consume him, his body engulfed by the intense blaze. Leo screams in disbelief as flames engulf his body, his voice filled with denial. He cannot accept what is happening. His eyes widen in terror, realizing that the power unleashed is truly at the level of a 10th rank, something he thought impossible. A massive explosion of light and fire consumes everything, his final cry drowned in the overwhelming blast. His subordinates look around in shock, panicking as they realize their leader has vanished without a trace. The henchmen tremble in fear, realizing the impossible their boss, who stood at the peak of level 11, has just been defeated so easily. Everyone around is struck with disbelief, their bodies stiffening as if shocked by lightning, while the man radiates with fiery energy. The room falls silent, and dread fills the air. What follows is not just shock, but pure fear of the figure now standing before them. He raises his hand casually, flicking his fingers with a calm yet commanding gesture, sending a clear warning to all. The remaining henchmen cry out in terror as the overwhelming force sweeps through them, leaving no chance to resist. The young man lowers his hand calmly, the battlefield now silent, with enemies lying defeated at his feet. The woman stares in disbelief, struggling to comprehend the sudden turn of events after such chaos. He looks at her with a steady gaze, reassuring her that everything has been handled and instructs her to contact the Star Police. The young man reassures the woman, telling her to contact the Star Police since everything has already been handled. Overwhelmed, she drops to her knees, bowing before him in submission and respect. Tears well in her eyes as she trembles, realizing the power she just witnessed is no ordinary strength, it feels like immortal power. Meanwhile, the young man looks at his own hand calmly, questioning to himself just how strong he has truly become. Lu Sheng's body glows with overwhelming energy, his true strength unknown even to himself, as no one could possibly comprehend it. Far away, the White Hole Traveler ship moves through the vast expanse of space. Back in his room, Lu Sheng reflects that whenever he activates the Stellar Supreme Body, his clothes are destroyed. Fortunately, he can reconstruct them using his mental power. He smirks to himself, relieved, joking that otherwise, he would truly end up as an exhibitionist. Lu Sheng greets his family warmly, relieved that everything has gone smoothly. Taking advantage of the Interstellar Martial Arts Talent Exchange Conference, he arranged for his parents, wife, and trusted martial arts saints to be relocated to the sub-Jupiter area for safety. He reflects that this move is a precaution to protect his family and that his true goal lies in the main star area of sub-Jupiter, where a grand event awaits him. Meanwhile, the main satellite terminal of the sub-Jupiter area begins preparations for what is to come. With support from countless nobles, Lu Sheng's family reached a martial arts level comparable to level 6, and even his parents appeared much younger. His relatives marveled at the advanced civilization around them, amazed by the space technology and modern comforts they had never seen before. Elsewhere, others were surprised to discover that Lu Sheng himself had come to this place. Many who once knew him reflected with shock, unable to believe how far he had risen since the days they casually spent time together. Delegates from the Sub-Jupiter Federation warmly welcomed the distinguished guests, extending their most sincere greetings. The visitors were amazed by their new clothes, which even provided automatic translation for seamless communication. They felt honored and credited everything to Sheng. Some marveled at the unique aliens sent by the government to greet them, even taking pictures to capture the moment. Suddenly, a massive spacecraft descended, its engines roaring as the visitors looked up in awe. A massive spaceship descended from the sky, its engines blazing as onlookers stared in awe. One girl excitedly raised her phone, smiling as she announced she was taking a closer picture. The ship's surface revealed a fearsome insignia, the emblem of a dangerous force. An elder's face twisted in shock and horror as he recognized the symbol, exclaiming that it spelled disaster. A horned man's face twists in shock as he recognizes the approaching spaceship. He quickly identifies it as belonging to the powerful Adrit bloodline family from the Silverstone Star region. Panic sets in as he recalls they were supposed to arrive later in the afternoon, yet they've appeared much earlier than expected. The enormous spaceship descends with overwhelming presence, its metallic frame gleaming as it takes control of the sky. Its sheer size and advanced design make it clear that this is no ordinary vessel. In the city below, a girl can't contain her excitement. With a bright smile, she raises her phone to capture the scene, marveling at how impressive the spaceship looks up close. Her admiration spreads as she voices her amazement, eager to share the moment. Pointing toward the massive ship, she shouts to those around her, comparing its size to several of Bay City's gymnasiums. Her excitement fuels the crowd's astonishment, leaving everyone stunned by the Adrit family's grand arrival. The spaceship's ramp lowers, revealing a bright passage as the entrance opens. A group of wolf-headed warriors steps forward, their armor shining and weapons in hand. Their presence immediately commands attention. Among the crowd, a girl spots Fu Rui and can't hide her excitement. She admires his appearance, calling him handsome with a smile. Fu Rui and his warriors descend slowly from the ship, moving with steady confidence as everyone watches in awe. One of the wolf-headed warriors looks confused as he notices the sudden behavior of the humans before him. Two excited girls rush forward, holding up their phones eagerly. They gush over how handsome the warriors are and talk about wanting to take pictures of them. The wolf warrior's expression twists into anger. He raises his voice, demanding to know what they are doing, his hostility clear as he prepares to lash out. From the side, the horned man reacts in alarm. He realizes the women's careless actions may provoke serious trouble and warns of the danger in panic. The horned man urgently orders others to follow, warning that the situation could escalate into a major diplomatic incident. The wolf-headed warriors turn their attention toward the girl who rushed forward earlier. She freezes under their sharp stares, confused by their sudden silence. Without warning, the warriors lift their heads and let out a powerful howl that echoes across the plaza, their voices filled with intensity. The girl, still holding her phone, looks startled and uneasy. She doesn't understand what they're doing or why they reacted so suddenly. Liu King, his instincts told her something was wrong as she found herself surrounded by the wolf warriors. Their intimidating formation left her uneasy, wondering why they had all gathered around her. The leader of the group steps forward with a menacing glare, declaring that she must pay the price for her actions. His voice grows harsher as he warns her to be prepared, his powerful aura pressing down like a threat of violence. Just as the tension peaks, others rush forward desperately, shouting for the warriors to wait, trying to stop the situation from spiraling out of control. The horned man rushes to defend the girl, pleading with the wolf warriors to forgive her. He explains she doesn't know their rules and insists that ignorance should not be treated as a crime. Elsewhere, worried voices rise as others notice the commotion. They ask anxiously if something has happened to King, fearing for her safety. The leader of the Adrit Blood Wolves steps forward, his tone filled with disdain. He declares that their kind never allows anyone to film them. With fury in his eyes, he labels the girl's actions as blasphemy and an unforgivable insult, demanding that punishment must be delivered. One man looks surprised, questioning if the situation is really that serious. Another explains that the Blood Wolf clan despises being photographed. To them, it is seen as a grave insult and an act of extreme disrespect. He further clarifies that this bloodline has a history of violent disputes with media and outside forces, some even ending in bloodshed. The reminder casts a grim shadow over the crowd. As fear grows, a worried girl clings to her mother, asking what to do. Her mother reassures her softly, saying not to be afraid because the diplomat is already helping to establish contact. Tension rises as the horned man argues with the wolf warrior, desperately trying to ease the conflict. Nearby, another warns that the Blood Wolf clan intends to wash away the insult with human heads and blood. His words spread fear, leaving everyone horrified at the severity of the situation. Panicked voices rise as people admit they are only tourists, with no knowledge of the clan's rules. They beg desperately for mercy, hoping for some way to defuse the crisis. A woman with white hair steps forward, her expression serious. She asks if there is truly no way to resolve the matter peacefully, her words carrying a glimmer of hope against the growing despair. A bystander explains that the blood-marked wolves are notoriously stubborn beast warriors. In the current situation, only the dean himself could possibly calm them down. Suddenly, the air ripples as the void splits open, signaling the arrival of someone powerful. From the rift, an elderly man with an imposing presence steps out, his aura radiating authority. The crowd immediately recognizes him. It's the dean. With a calm but commanding voice, the dean thanks everyone for their efforts and assures them to leave the matter to him. The others respectfully acknowledge his words, relieved by his appearance. The dean steps forward calmly, addressing the Blood Wolf clan directly. He urges them to stop and listen to him. The clan's warriors respond firmly, declaring that even if the dean himself asks for mercy, their tribe's beliefs cannot be compromised. The dean leans closer, whispering something quietly to their leader. His words carry weight, shaking the wolf's confidence. The wolf's expression changes to shock. His eyes widen as he stammers in disbelief, realizing the dean is an immortal. The revelation leaves him stunned. The Blood Wolf clan suddenly lets out a unified howl, startling everyone as the atmosphere shifts. Confusion spreads among the onlookers, unsure of what is happening. In a surprising turn, the wolf warriors lower themselves respectfully, bowing deeply before the humans. Their leader steps forward, humbling himself as he apologizes sincerely. He asks for forgiveness, admitting their ignorance and offering the Blood Wolf family's highest apology. The humans look on in shock and disbelief, whispering in surprise at the unexpected gesture of respect and submission. The white-haired woman reflects silently, realizing that the dean's presence has changed everything. She wonders about Lu Sheng's true standing, since even the Blood Wolf clan now shows submission. Still unsure, the girl who caused the trouble earlier nervously asks if she can continue taking pictures of them. To her surprise, the wolf warrior eagerly agrees with a wide grin, assuring her that she absolutely can. His attitude shifts completely from hostility to enthusiasm. Another wolf declares that such words alone aren't enough to show their sincerity. He rallies the clan to take further action, determined to prove their respect. The wolf warriors form heart gestures with their hands around the girl, turning the tense standoff into an almost comical display of sincerity. The once hostile clan now happily joins in for a group photo, posing with enthusiasm as the girl stands at the center. Onlookers are stunned, whispering in disbelief at the drastic change. The horned man trembles in shock, realizing this spectacle will surely make headlines across the federal district. He wonders just who these tourists really are, since even the Blood Wolf clan bowed before them. Time passes, and a few days later, Lu Sheng's ship approaches the dock, marking the beginning of the next chapter in his journey. On a phone screen, photos of the wolf warriors posing cheerfully are posted online under the title, "Taking a Photo with Alien Friends." The girl proudly poses with the wolves, smiling brightly as they join her in playful gestures, a stark contrast to their earlier hostility. Elsewhere, Lu Sheng looks at the photos with a faint smile. He remarks on how quickly his family managed to befriend alien races. He admits he had worried his parents might struggle to adapt, but realizes he underestimated their openness. Looking more serious, Lu Xing reflects inwardly. He thinks about how advanced technology could extend his parents' lives for over 1,000 years, especially if they practice martial arts to stay active. He resolves never to experience the pain of regret of wanting to care for his parents only after losing them. Lu Sheng returns, and those waiting welcome him warmly. They remark that he looks stronger and seems to have gained a great deal since his last appearance. He is introduced to Olu, the commander-in-chief of the front, who explains that the Interstellar martial arts talent exchange competition will begin in a few days. Since Lu Sheng is the protagonist of the event, he will be briefed in detail about important matters. Another leader praises Lu Sheng's recent achievements, recalling how he took down Xingju Liu, a notorious level 35-star criminal wanted by 8 regions, along with his large-scale pirate gang. She reveals that she has received countless letters of gratitude from different star regions, all thanking Lu Sheng. Someone else adds that Liu had been a peak-level warrior, once active even on alien battlefields. His strength was so great that an entire team couldn't have taken him down, yet Lu Sheng managed to defeat him alone. One of the leaders recalls how the Black Flounder Star region once sent 3 top enforcers to capture Xingju Liu, yet he escaped them all without leaving a trace. She admits that calling Lu Sheng's achievement immortal level might not be an exaggeration after all. Another elder comments with admiration that a level 10 warrior like Lu Sheng managed to defeat a peak level 11 opponent, proof that heroes often emerge while still young. Lu Sheng listens respectfully, then thanks them. With a calm tone, he asks for a detailed explanation about the so-called alien battlefield, eager to learn more.